Have you ever felt like they've already written your story for you? They've already decided who you are, where you'll go, and how you'll end up. It's as if they hold the pen, and all you are is a mere character, a lifeless one at that, doomed to a fate they've created. They've cast their judgment, their doubts, their ridicule, and in those moments, when their words were like daggers, you felt yourself crumbling, the very foundation of who you are shaking beneath their weight. Can you feel it? The sting of being underestimated, the weight of their eyes that look upon you not with hope, but with dismissal. Can you feel the suffocating grip of their word, pushing you into a corner, casting shadows over your dream, until you're nothing more than dust in their eyes? They've tried to bury you, haven't they? With every sneer, every whispered doubt, every laugh at your expense. They've tried to bury you beneath the ashes of their disbelief. You were never meant to rise, never meant to reach for the stars. They saw you as weak, a failure, someone unworthy of success or love or greatness. You, in their eyes, were already broken. You were nothing more than an afterthought in a world that never bothered to consider your worth. They had their assumption. Perhaps they told you you weren't strong enough, that your dreams were too big, that you weren't capable, that you were born to fail. They saw you through a lens of limitation and fear, painting your future in the same dull colors of their own doubts. But here's the truth they never saw. Those doubts, they're not you. Those judgments, they're not yours to carry. What they said, how they saw you, that was their story, not yours. And you've been living too long with the weight of their narrative wrapped around your soul, shackling you, chaining you to a fate they decided for you, long before you ever had a chance to choose your own path. It's time to let go of that weight, time to shed those ashes, time to rise from the dust and prove that their story does not define you. You were never broken. You were just waiting for the moment to show them who you really are. You spent so much of your life trying to please them. Every step you took, every move you made, you did it with the hope that maybe, just maybe, you'd finally earn their approval. It was a relentless chase, this constant need to fit into their mold, to conform to their expectations. They painted the picture of who you should be, and you tried, with everything inside you, to paint yourself into that picture. But it never felt right, did it? No matter how hard you tried, you were never enough. Their gaze was always a little too cold, their words a little too sharp. You felt like you were living in a storm, constantly tossed around, never quite finding solid ground. No matter how many times you tried to stand, the wind would knock you back down, and you'd find yourself lying in the same pit, just trying to survive the chaos around you. They pushed you, didn't they? Pushed you into a box, made you shrink yourself down to fit into their narrow view of who you should be. They told you where you belonged, what your limits were, who you were supposed to be. Every move you made, every choice you made, was scrutinized, dissected, judged. And every time you didn't meet their expectations, it felt like you were smaller, less than, not enough. You tried to force yourself into the box, but it was always too tight, suffocating you, making you feel like you were drowning in their judgment. You were never allowed to be free. Every attempt to break out felt like failure, like the walls were closing in even tighter. It was a constant battle between who you were inside and who they wanted you to be. But no matter how much you bent, you never fit perfectly, did you? And then the doubts. Oh, the doubts. They became a part of you, didn't they? Those doubts weren't just theirs anymore. They became yours. Every time they looked at you with that blank, disapproving gaze, a little piece of you started to believe that maybe they were right. Maybe you weren't enough. Maybe their words were true. Maybe you were destined to fail. Those whispers, those judgments, they began to echo in your mind, louder and louder, until you couldn't hear anything else. You tried to rise. You fought to shake off the weight of their doubts, but every step forward felt like one more battle in a war you couldn't win. You would fight against the world, but at the same time, you were fighting against yourself, too. Your own mind had become your greatest enemy, and it was exhausting, wasn't it? The constant tug of war, the back and forth, the endless cycle of pushing yourself to be better, only to feel like you were slipping further into despair. You were trapped in the space between who they told you to be and who you knew deep down you could be. And every time you stumbled, every time you felt that darkness creeping in, it felt like you were one step closer to giving up. The exhaustion, the weight of it all, it was too much to carry. But there comes a moment, doesn't there? A moment when you can no longer bear the weight of their expectation. A moment when the walls around you become too suffocating to stand. A moment when you realize that staying down isn't an option anymore. It's as if one day you wake up and the battle becomes clearer. You're tired, so tired of being defined by their limitation, so tired of living by their rule, by their judgments, by their opinion. You realize that the life you've been living isn't yours, it's theirs. You realize that the chains you've been wearing, those chains of doubt, of fear, of their words, they've never truly belonged to you. They were always theirs, and in that moment, something inside you shifts. It's subtle at first, just a flicker, a spark of something. But it's there, the first spark of self-belief, the first sign that you can rise, that you can break free. It's not loud. It doesn't come with a fanfare or a big dramatic moment. It's just a quiet knowing deep inside you, a whisper that says, enough, enough of their story. This is my story now. That moment is everything. It's the turning point, the shift that will change everything. You can't go back to who you were. That spark of self-belief is the beginning of something new, something unstoppable. It's the first breath of life in a soul that's been buried under the weight of others for too long. And in that moment, you realize you are not their story. You are your own. And now, finally, you're ready to write it. From the ashes, there is always a spark. It may seem like it takes forever to feel it, like you've been buried so deep that there's no hope of finding your way out. But trust me, it's there. When you've been broken down, when you've been pushed to your limits, there's a moment when something inside you begins to stir. It's the fire within. It's not loud or flashy, but it burns deep in your soul, a quiet reminder that you are never truly defeated. You may have been shattered, but your spirit, your strength, they were never gone. They were simply waiting to rise again, like the sun after the storm, like a phoenix rising from the flames. You are a testament to resilience. You are the embodiment of the strength that refuses to die. The fire within you was always there. It just needed to be rekindled. As you begin to heal, you feel the weight of the world lift off your shoulders, even if just for a moment. The process isn't easy. It never is. Healing takes time. It takes patience. It takes vulnerability. It requires you to confront the darkest parts of yourself, to look at the broken pieces and say, I will rebuild, I will rise, I will not let this defeat me. And slowly, you start to feel it, the fire, that warmth, that strength. It begins as a flicker, small, almost imperceptible, but it grows, it builds, it spreads through you, filling the cracks, the spaces that were once empty and filled with doubt. You begin to realize that everything you've been through wasn't a death sentence. It was the beginning of your rebirth. You are no longer defined by the wounds you carry. You are defined by the strength that is born from them. Reclaiming your power, though, it's not easy. It never is. It requires courage, the courage to rise even when the world tells you to stay down, the courage to fight even when the fear of failure looms large in your mind. It requires sweat. It requires tears. And sometimes it requires you to fall, to stumble, before you can rise. But with every stumble, you learn something new. With every failure, you grow stronger. With every judgment cast your way, you begin to see it for what it truly is, a reflection of their insecurities, not your worth. It is not an easy path. There will be moments of doubt, moments when you want to give up, moments when the weight of the world feels too heavy to bear. But you must remember this: you didn't break, you didn't crumble, you stood tall. And every time you stood tall, every time you pushed through the pain, you were becoming the person you were always meant to be. You are a warrior, and warriors don't back down. You didn't back down. And then there's the fuel for your fire. It's ironic, isn't it? Those people who doubted you, who tried to bury you under their negativity and fear, those very people became the wind beneath your wings. At first, their words stung, they hurt, they made you question your worth, your purpose, your strength. But something happens when you finally stop listening to their noise. You realize that their doubts don't belong to you. Their fear doesn't belong to you. And you can either let their negativity weigh you down, or you can use it as fuel. You can turn that energy into something powerful. You can turn their judgment into motivation. The negativity that once held you captive can now propel you forward, like wind beneath your wing, pushing you higher, faster, farther than you ever thought possible. Their doubt becomes your strength. Their fear becomes your fire. You use it to soar, to rise above the limitations they tried to impose on you. You are no longer bound by their opinions. You are free, and you are powerful. It's time to embrace your wing. It's time to fly. The sky is wide and the wind is strong, but you are no longer afraid. You have found your power. You have found your strength. And now, it's time to soar. The fire within you will never be extinguished. The wings that once felt broken are now strong, capable and ready to carry you to heights you never dreamed possible. You are not just rising from the ashes, you are soaring above them. You are unstoppable. You are limitless. You are everything they said you could never be, and you are just getting started. As you rise, you'll find that greatness doesn't come easily. It's not handed to you on a silver platter, and it doesn't arrive without challenges. The moment you start to step into your full potential, when you start to stand taller, to rise higher, you'll feel the pushback. People who were once content to see you stumble will suddenly grow afraid of what you've become. Their fears will surface, their insecurities will lash out. You'll hear whispers behind your back, see sideways glances in the mirror. People who once barely noticed you will now turn their attention to you. Except it won't be praise, not at first. It will be judgment. It will be jealousy. It will be a refusal to accept the new you. Because the new you is a reminder of what they fear to become. The new you forces them to confront their own limitations, their own fears, their own complacency, and that makes them uncomfortable. But here's the truth. Their discomfort is not your burden to carry. Their refusal to accept your greatness is a reflection of their own struggles, not yours. Don't let their fears and jealousy deter you from your path. They are simply tests of your will. Every pushback, every challenge is an opportunity to prove just how much you believe in your own rise. This is not the time to shrink back or retreat into the shadows. It's the time to stand firm, to hold your ground, to continue moving forward despite the noise, despite the opposition. This is your journey, and no one, not even the people who tried to break you, can take that away from you. But let me tell you something. This journey isn't a straight line. It's not a constant upward trajectory. There will be days when it feels like you've taken 2 steps forward, only to be knocked 3 steps back. There will be moments when you feel like you're back at square one, wondering if any of this was worth it. You'll look at your progress and feel like it's slipping through your fingers, like all the work you've put in has led to nothing. These dark moments will come. They always do. But don't mistake these moments for failure. They are not the end of your story. They are part of your story. They are tests. They are lessons. They are the moments that strengthen you, that harden your resolve, that make the fire inside you burn even brighter. You see, setbacks are not the opposite of progress. They are the foundation of it. Every struggle you face is an opportunity to learn, to grow, to become stronger. Every time the weight of the world feels unbearable, it's a reminder that you are capable of carrying it. Every time you stumble, every time you feel like you can't keep going, it's a chance to prove to yourself just how resilient you truly are. And with each setback, you build new strength, new wisdom, new clarity. The road to greatness is not smooth. It's rocky, uneven, unpredictable. But it's also beautiful, because every challenge is a victory in disguise. Every obstacle you face is a stepping stone that brings you closer to the person you were always meant to become. And then, as you continue on this journey, you'll face something even more difficult: self-doubt. It's the ghost that haunts you in the quiet moment, the voice in your head that says, maybe they were right, maybe you're not good enough, maybe this rise, this success was never meant for you. You'll find yourself questioning your worth, wondering if you truly deserve the greatness you're striving for. You'll look back at your old fears and insecurity, and for a moment, they'll try to pull you back into the darkness. But you are not the same person you were before. You've been through the fire, and you've come out stronger. The tools you've gained, resilience, strength, courage, are now yours. When you face self-doubt, you won't shrink back into the shadow. You'll confront it head-on, knowing that it no longer has the power to control you. Those old fears, those insecurities, don't belong. They are relics of a past life, a past version of yourself that no longer exists. And with each passing day, you will silence those doubts, not just from others, but from your own mind as well. You'll look in the mirror and see the person you've become, someone powerful, someone capable, someone who has already overcome everything that was ever meant to break them. You will stand tall, not just because the world believes in you, but because you believe in yourself. You are no longer defined by your past, by the opinions of others, by the doubts and fears that once held you captive. You are defined by the strength you've cultivated, by the fire that now burns in your soul, by the resilience that courses through your veins. And with each step forward, with each challenge you conquer, you'll realize just how far you've come. You're no longer just surviving, you're soaring, and no one can take that away from you. There comes a moment in every journey when you can feel it deep within your soul, a moment when everything shifts, when you realize that all the struggles, all the battles, have led you to this point. It's the moment of liberation. It's the moment when you stop carrying the weight of everyone else's expectations, when you stop living in the shadow of their doubts, when you finally step into your own power. It's the moment when you look around and realize that the chains are gone, the ashes have been left behind, and the sky is now your limit. For so long, you were weighed down by fear, by self-doubt, by the need for approval. But now, you've broken free. Now the world is yours to conquer, and there's nothing standing in your way. This moment is yours. The self-belief that once flickered now roars like a fire, unstoppable and fierce. It's not just belief anymore, it's knowing. You know who you are. You know what you're capable of. You know that nothing can hold you back. This isn't a dream anymore. This is your reality. And now you are soaring. You are no longer bound by the limitations of others, by the doubts that once clung to you like chain. You are free, and with this freedom, you are rising higher than you ever thought possible. The wind may still be fierce. The storms may still try to knock you off course. But now, you are the one in control. You are the one who guides your flight. The winds no longer carry the weight of fear or hesitation. They carry you higher, lifting you toward heights you once thought were beyond your reach. You are no longer the person who was afraid to try. You are no longer the person who feared the unknown. You are the person who embraces the challenge, who rises above the storms. And as you rise, you feel the strength and confidence building inside you. This is who you were always meant to be. The person who doesn't just survive the storm, but becomes the storm. The person who flies higher than anyone ever thought possible. And as you rise, something powerful happens. The world begins to watch in awe. Those same people who tried to hold you back, who doubted you, who judged you, are now forced to watch as you soar. They tried to keep you grounded, tried to keep you small, but now they can only watch as you break free from the box they tried to put you in. They see you rising, stronger than they ever imagined, and they're powerless to stop you. You've shattered their expectations. You've proven that their words, their doubts, their limitations, they mean nothing. They told you you couldn't. They told you you'd never make it. They told you you weren't strong enough. But look at you now. You've made it. You've risen above their doubt, above their fears, above everything they thought would hold you down. You are more than they ever expected. And now they will never forget you. Because your rise, your strength, your resilience is undeniable. They'll watch you, and they'll know that they couldn't stop you. They'll know that they never had the power to keep you down. You've proven that your potential was never theirs to dictate. The sky is yours, the future is yours, and nothing can stand in your way. Now you stand at the pinnacle of your own greatness, and the view from here is nothing short of magnificent. You have broken free from everything that once held you back, and in doing so, you have become the person you were always meant to be. You have shattered their doubts, you have shattered their expectations, and now, as you soar through the clouds, you understand the true meaning of freedom. You are limitless, you are unstoppable, and the world will never forget the power you've unleashed. As you soar through the skies, your journey does not end with your own triumph. The impact of your flight reaches far beyond your own life. When you rise, you ignite something within others, a spark, a fire. You show them that it's possible to rise from the ashes, that their struggles are not the end of their story, but rather the beginning of something greater. Your success becomes a beacon, a shining light that lights the way for others who are still trapped in the darkness. You inspire them to believe that they too can break free, that they too can conquer their fears, their doubts, their limitations. As you soar, you leave behind a ripple effect, a chain reaction that begins to spread, touching the lives of everyone around you. They see you, and they see themselves in you. They see that if you can rise, so can they. Your courage, your strength, your determination becomes contagious. It spreads like wildfire, sparking a movement, a wave of change that lifts others up. You become more than just someone who fought to survive. You become a symbol of hope, a proof that no one is ever truly defeated, no matter how many times they fall. You become the living, breathing evidence that greatness is not reserved for a chosen few. It is for anyone who dares to rise, to fight, to believe in themselves. And as others begin to believe in their own potential, the world around you begins to change. But your legacy is not just about the people you inspire. It's about the way your story will be remembered. When your name is spoken, it will be with respect, with admiration. You will be remembered as someone who defied the odds, who faced the storms and emerged stronger. You will be remembered as someone who wasn't afraid to rise, no matter how many times they tried to knock you down. Your story will be one of resilience, of strength, of an unshakable belief that nothing can keep you from soaring. Your legacy will live on in the hearts of those who saw you rise, in the lives of those you touched, and in the power of your example. And now, as you stand on the precipice of your own greatness, I want you to hear this. The ashes are behind you. The sky is ahead. This is your time. The world is waiting for you to spread your wings and soar, because no one can stop you. Not them, not anyone. You are the master of your fate, the creator of your destiny. Your rise is inevitable. Your greatness is assured. It's time to embrace it fully. No more hesitation, no more fear. This is your moment. Your story is not finished. It is just beginning. Now go, spread your wing, and show the world that nothing can hold you back. You've made it this far, and I want you to hear me clearly. You are capable of unimaginable greatness. Every step, every challenge, every moment of doubt, every battle you fought, it has all led you to this point. You are standing at the edge of your own potential, looking out at a horizon filled with infinite possibility. The sky is vast, and the world is yours to conquer. There is nothing that can stop you, not the judgments of others, not the fears that once haunted you, not even the doubts that tried to chain you. All those obstacles, every last one, they were just stepping stones to get you here. You've broken free, you've risen from the ashes, and now nothing can hold you back. You're not defined by your past. You're not limited by the voices of others. You're defined by your strength, your courage, your ability to rise again every time you fall. You are limitless, and now you must take that power, take that strength, and soar higher than you ever thought possible. The only limits that exist are the ones you place on yourself. So don't hold back. The time for hesitation is over. It's your time now. You've fought too hard, you've struggled too long, and you've proven your resilience. Now it's time to claim the greatness that has always been within you. The heights you are about to reach will astound you, but you must first believe that they are possible. The fire inside you is stronger than any doubt, any fear. It's time to let it burn brighter than ever before. There's nothing, absolutely nothing, that can stop you now. Go, rise, spread your wings, soar, because the world is waiting for you to show them what's possible. And once you do, they will never forget the power you unleashed.